Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I am glad we are taking this time to talk, just you and me. I has been thinking a lot lately about something that we all struggle with, something that feels heavy but is actually the key to feeling light. I want to talk about discipline. Now, wait, don't roll your eyes. I know the word discipline sounds cold. It sounds like an strict teacher or a military boot camp or doing things you hate. We usually think of discipline as a cage. We think it means we can have fun, we can eat what we want, or we can just relax on the sofa. But I want to offer you different perspective today. I want you to see the discipline not as a cage, but as a key. The key to unlocks the door to the only freedom that actually matters. Let's be honest with each other for a second. How many times had you told yourself you would start something on Monday? How many times has you had a brilliant idea and goal and dream and feel that rush of excitement? You bought the running shoes, or you bought the notebook, or you downloaded the app. You felt motivated. Motivation is a great feeling, isn't it? It feels like fire. But here is the hard truth that we both know. Motivation is a liar. Motivation is like fair weather friend. It is there when the sun is shining, when you have energy, and when everything is easy. But the moment it is rain, the moment you are tired, the moment the alarms go off at 6 a.m., it is cold outside. Motivation leaves the room. It abandons you. This is where the Stoic philosophy comes in. The Stoic, those ancient thinkers who understood the human mind so well, tell us that we cannot rely on our feelings to guide our actions. Feelings are like the weather. They change every hour. If you build your life based on you feel in the moment, you will build a house on sand. Discipline is the rock. Discipline is the ability to make a promise to yourself and keep it, regardless of how you feel. Think about it this way. Imagine there are two versions of you. There is a present you and there is a future you. Present you wants comfort. Present you wants to eat the pizza, skip the gym, procrastinate on that project, and scroll through the social media for 3 hours. Present you wants what it is you right now. But then there is a future you. Future you is the one who has to live the consequence. Future you is the one who will be tired, unhealthy, or stressed because the work wasn't done. When you lack discipline, you're essentially stealing from your future self. You are borrowing happiness from the tomorrow to pay for comfort today. Discipline is actually the highest form of self-love. I know that sounds strange. How can waking up early or working hard be love? It is love because it is the act of taking care of your future. It is saying, I love myself enough to do the hard thing now, so I can have a better life later. It is protecting your own potential. I want you to visualize something with me. Imagine a river. Water is soft, fluid, and flexible. But over time, through consistency, the river cut through the solid rock. It creates canyons. It changes the landscape of the earth, not because the water is strong in one single moment, but because it is consistent. It never stops. Discipline is exactly like that river. We tend to think we need to make a massive, heroic efforts to change our life. We think we need to run a marathon tomorrow or write a book in a week, but that is not how it works. The magic is in mundane. The magic is in the boring things. It's doing the small things every single day, even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. The Stoics speak about amor fati, loving your faith, loving reality. Part of that reality is accepting that life requires effort. We often suffer because we wish things were easier. We wish we're naturally talented or that we had more luck. But wishing is a waste of energy. Discipline is the acceptance of the work. It is looking at the mountain in front of you and saying, okay, I will clean this one step at a time. Let's talk about that voice in your head. You know that one. The one that starts whispering when the things get uncomfortable. It says says, just 5 more minutes of sleep. It says, you can do it tomorrow. It says, is it not a big deal if you miss just one day? That voice is the enemy. It sounds like a friend. It sounds like it's want to comfort you, but it is trying to keep you small. Every time you listen to that voice, you weaken your spirit. But it's the good news. Every time you ignore that voice, every time you do the hard thing anyway, you get stronger. You are training your mind just like you're training a muscle. When you say no to the distraction and yes to the work, you are building self-respect. And self-respect is something you cannot buy. You cannot fake it. You only get it by proving to yourself over and over again that you are someone who can be trusted. I want to ask you, what is the cause of your comfort? There is some famous saying that I think about all the time. It says, we must all suffer from one or two pains, the pain of the discipline or the pain of the regret. The difference is the discipline weighs once, while the regret weighs tons. Think about that. Discipline's hard. Yes, it does. It is uncomfortable to sit down and study when you want to go out. It is painful to exercise when your body is sore, but that pain is temporary. It's the last for an hour or maybe a day. So, when we talk about discipline, we are really talking about choosing your pain. I am inviting you to choose the pain that makes you stronger, not the pain that breaks your heart. Discipline is not about punishment, it's about potential. It's the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. So, take a deep breath. Let's go to the guilt of the past. It doesn't matter what you did or what you didn't do yesterday. All that is mattering is right now. The quiet freedom is waiting for you. It's waiting in the work. It is waiting in the routine. It is waiting in the moment you decide to stand out and begin. Let's go get to the work.